Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm so glad you're here. So excited because I'm doing another YouTube recommendations video, like YouTubers that I really love. And these ones are specifically like Christian couples on YouTube that I just really enjoy. These people are they just make me happy. So in no particular order, we're just gonna go through, I think I have 7 different like YouTube couples that are all Christian. That I really like, and I think there's a good variety of like what they do. Maybe there'll be some new ones that you haven't heard of, but probably you've heard of most of these because they are more well known, but I think for a good reason. I really enjoy their content. So the first one I have written down is Melania and Jordan. I really enjoyed their podcast. I believe they still do it. I don't listen to podcasts as frequently as I used to, but I've also seen those like episodes pop up on YouTube. So they also have like a channel for their podcast, I believe. I really enjoy their conversations with each other. I think that they really complement one another in the way they speak about certain topics, and I think the wisdom that they share is super unique. Like the ways that they handle a situation and a topic, they're like both coming from different angles, and yet it complements each other. It's hard to explain, but I also like how both of them are just very humble and very kind. Like the ways that they tackle harder subjects is just a very kind and wanting to truly understand. I just like that. I think that they are super mature for their age, wise beyond their years. I just really appreciate them and their ministry. Melania has a separate channel that I also follow. I just enjoy that they bring light to a very dark platform. The internet has a lot of darkness, and I just enjoy them being that light and having a podcast ministry where they talk about Jesus and hard topics. They're a great Christian couple to follow, and so I highly recommend you checking them out if you haven't already. The second one is Paul and Morgan Oligus. So the Paul and Morgan Show. Is it still Paul and Morgan Show? I think it's just Paul and Morgan. I didn't follow them when they were like the Paul and Morgan Show. I really started following them when they like switched their focus, kind of rebranded their channel to be more like controversial topics or like hot topics and culture, political issues and all that kind of stuff from a biblical perspective. That's when I really started following their channel. Before, I think they did mostly dating, Christian dating advice, I think. But I am not as into that as I am with the culture and the political stuff that they have handled. I have grown to love these two so much. They have inspired me a lot, and though we actually come with a little bit different of a theological perspective and some things, because I fall more on the Reformed side. They've had some videos recently where they have stepped away from like the hyper-charismatic movement, and it's been so interesting seeing their journey, because I started to see that in them before they like said what was going on, and I just really appreciated where they were going, and I found myself like seeing the change in both of them before they announced that they were changing. In a sense, they were moving away from a movement and focusing more heavily on scripture, and I saw that in them. I saw them have such an emphasis on the truth of the Bible, and I loved it so much. And both of them have such a kindness to them when they handle these like controversial topics and talk about humility. They have such a humble approach to everything they've gone through, and a humility to the Word of God, and a true desire to submit to what the Word says. And y'all, they're great. And I learned so much from them, and I just really, really appreciate them, and I think you guys would too. They have put themselves in the hot seat many a times, and I really admire them for that. They're some of my favorites, to be honest. The next one I have written down is Cayenne and Kyle Wolfgang. I haven't been following them for too long, but I do really appreciate both of them, and they also have a very unique and fun dynamic of how they handle spiritual truths. They both are very calming people. Their energies and their personalities are very calming. And I feel like they work well together. I enjoy it when they film together. I enjoy their vlogs. They're very good at just like incorporating Jesus into everything they do. So even if they're doing a vlog or a road trip or something, they're talking about Jesus so naturally, and I love that about them. That clearly shows that their love for God just radiates from them and spills into their everyday life, and I love seeing that, and that inspires me as well to be like, I don't have to sit down and film a video to talk about Jesus. Like, I can talk about Jesus wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. So I really appreciate that about both of them. I know they have individual channels and they also have a couples channel. So highly recommend checking them out. You might really enjoy their videos. The next one is Kristin and Marcus Johns. I feel like I've been following them since social media came out, or at least since, what was it called? Vine. Since Vine was a thing. And now it's TikTok, but Vine was the OG, okay? And I think Marcus was pretty popular on Vine. And then obviously he was dating Kristin, and so I've been following them for a very long time. They moved to Tennessee as well, so how fun. It'd be so fun if I ran into them somewhere, although I don't think they live in my area. But they're just a very sweet, genuine couple. They went through a pretty traumatizing experience where they were riding a bike and they got hit by a car and they were in the hospital. Kristin was in the hospital for a lot longer than Marcus, but seeing their faith and seeing their journey walking through that was so inspiring. Like, God was 100% their strength. And I loved hearing them recall how God had been with them and God had strengthened them and God had healed them, and seeing their faith strengthened through that was just really inspiring. So I think that they're a really genuine couple to follow, even if they don't make like strictly Christian content. I still know that their faith is strong, and I enjoy seeing that throughout their daily life. Okay, the next is Tori and Chad Masters. These two are so cute. I don't know if you can watch their channel and not think that, because they are just so cute. They're so precious. Like, Tori literally seems like such a calming, genuinely sweet human being, and Chad as well also just seems like a very kind but super funny and fun guy. Their channel is very emphasized on their Christian faith, and they talk about hard topics, or they do Q&As, and they answer things from a Christian perspective, and they're just that Christian couple that you can't help but be like, you guys radiate Jesus, you know? Like, they just have a glow about them. I think you would love their channel. I always love their videos because they just make me feel happy, and in an odd sense, looking through a screen, like, these people would make me feel like safe. Like secure. Like, they just seem like those types of people. If you haven't checked it out already, you definitely should. The next one, I mean, I kind of found Tori and Chad through them, and that's Jess and Gabe Conti. And I mean, I've been following them for probably as long, well, no, probably not as long as Kristin and Marcus, but around the same time. They just announced they're pregnant, so oh my gosh, so cute, so exciting, so happy for them. This is another couple where I feel like because of how relatable they are and because of how open they are in a lot of ways, I feel like I already know them, and I feel like I'm already friends with them. And I think that's really hard to do through a screen, is actually make you feel like you're friends with them, and that you know them, and that you know their faith, and you know their walks, and you know their struggles and their ups and downs. And I really appreciate that they're open about those things, and also how God affects how they handle their platform, because they have a very large platform. But I like how they don't lose sight of their faith amidst constant eyes on them, you know? Like, they just seemed so grounded. I can't even imagine having that many eyes on me and yet still so genuine and grounded as human beings in their walk with the Lord, and just as as people. Like, they don't lose that. I think we lose sight of that. When you see a lot of people that have large platforms, they'll fall and they'll compromise and they'll give up certain things to get to the top. And these two did not do that. Like, they are the same as they were years ago to now. Like, the amount of eyes on them has not affected who they are and how they portray themselves or what type of videos they make. Like, I think that that's really special and that's really unique and something that should be, you know, praised and say, like, good on you guys for not like compromising to get to the top. Like, you kept your faith strong and God is still at the center, and I don't know. I just appreciate that about them. They're very genuine, they're very sweet and cute people. I would love to be friends with them in real life, even though I feel like I already am. And then the last one is probably a little more obscure and you probably haven't heard of them, but that is Steve and Paulette Kozar. They are kind of more of a discernment type of ministry, but you guys, I know discernment ministries are not for everyone. They can be depressing if you're only listening to like bad sermons after bad sermons and dissecting bad theology. But to take stuff that's heavy like that and can be depressing and make it entertaining and funny, like, their humor is just, it's perfect. I laugh so much listening to them, and yet it is grounded in truth. There is that level of humor that helps you get through the really just like depressing things that you're seeing, like spoken in churches and things like that, that you could not even fathom that that stuff is being said, or like that Jesus's name is being blasphemed like this. Like, and somehow, without deterring from the seriousness of it, they bring a lightness to it. They bring a humor to it. They bring hope into those situations. And man, do you need that, because I've listened to a lot of discernment ministries that are just so negative and depressing and dark, and it's like, you gotta bring some humor into it because it is hard to listen to after a while. So I really appreciate them. They're really cute. They're really cute. I feel like I would love having a conversation with them, sitting down, talking about God, talking about theology, and oh, it would be so much fun. So I really like them. I know they're probably not for everyone because they are definitely focused on discernment, but I love that kind of stuff. So that's probably why I love them. That's it. That's all the ones I wanted to mention today. I know I kind of babbled on a little bit about some of them, but I just think that it's good to compliment others who are walking the race well, are being a light to others, and just encourage them in that way. Even if they never see this, I think that even other people seeing other people being encouraged can encourage you too, if that makes sense. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to check out any of the channels I mentioned, and if there's more, feel free to leave them in the comments so other people can go check out some more channels. And I will see you in my next video.